Well, here it is. A couple of days late, but never mind. Seems to be in a substantial box. Well, I've bought it from a UK firm called Union Mart, who I've been really impressed with, because we bought the wrong one the first time, because my son ordered it for me, and so we sent it back. But we had cut the bands off it. So this time I'm taking the bands off carefully in case it needs to go back. Now Union Mart were really good. They sent us a return ticket. They paid the return postage even though it was our fault. What a good firm to deal with. And that's what we have in the box. Now the late delivery of this isn't Union Mart's fault, it's the blasted post office. Because I actually got a text 2 days ago saying it would be with me that afternoon, and our postman tells me that it's because the lazy so-and-so in the office hadn't lifted it into the van. Arc leads and earth clamp. Torch in that packet. Instruction book, very comprehensive by the feel of the thing. Little glass for the welding mask, and just the same as everybody else says, why they send these rubbish masks out I do not know, unless it's to cover them for some future court case where somebody tries to sue them for ruining their eyes for using it without a mask. Goodness knows why they send them out, because they're useless. Well, here it is, and I've got to say it doesn't feel as cheap and nasty as I expected it to. Bloody turkey. It has the feel of a fairly quality item. And there's nothing loose inside it, which is always good. I really am quite impressed with the amount of lead they've given with this welder. In Mickey Mouse it's about 4 metres, which is just over 12 feet in old money, and it's the kind of thing that they normally scrimp on with budget items, so I'm quite pleased with that. The earth clamp lead and arc welding lead are shorter at about 8 feet, which isn't really a problem because I don't imagine many people are going to be using this for arc welding, and I think the best thing to do would be to join 2 leads together and have a 16-foot long earth lead. The electrode holder is a typical piece of junk, and the earth clamp is okay. It's got copper braid and copper terminals linking the 2 sides together, but it just is what it is. The torch is a fairly big thing, bigger than my old one. So my first impressions are quite good. Haven't turned it on yet, of course. 200 amps from a 13 amp plug. That's asking quite a lot. But even the plug feels like a fairly good quality item. The power lead here is about 4'6" long. Could be longer, but it also could be an awful lot shorter. At the back of the machine there's the cable entry point and the hose barb for the argon. They don't even give you a piece of hose, so you will need to get that before you get your machine. I always think that would be better at the front of these machines, because then you wouldn't have to drag the machine out if you needed to change the hose. You don't get a regulator either, of course, but they don't say you do. And there are 2 decent fans on the back, which means if the machine gets pushed up against the wall, it won't cool efficiently. So it could do with a couple of standoffs fitting on the back, rather like on the back of the fridge, so that the thing can't get accidentally pushed to the wall. Few consumables there. I thought there might have been 3 collets, but there are only 2. My mistake, there are 3 collets, the other one is in the torch already. Now, I don't know how it'll compare with my old TIG here, but this was just a DC plant and I did want the AC option, so we'll see how we go. Now this was a bit of a sad tale. I would still be using this, but a couple of years ago I decided to upgrade. So I took this one to the collective sale at the cattle market in Lanark, and it didn't make its reserve or anywhere near it. So I went to the office to get my pass out, because that's the way you have to do it there, whether you've bought it or taken it there. You need their bit of paperwork to take it. And when I came back, I found this old boy loading it into his trailer. And I said, "Excuse me, that's my TIG." "Oh no, we've bought all this stuff here." So I said, "Well, you haven't bought that, where's your paperwork?" And he said, "Oh, my mate's gone to the office." He said, "I'm very sorry." He was really apologetic, and he said, "Just take it." So I did. I took it and I threw it in the back of my van. And when I got home, I realised that the thieving old bastard had taken the torch and the foot pedal from it. So that was a real sour note, because I caught him in the act and I could have done something about it. But there we are. If I ever see him again, I know what he looks like. Now, as other reviewers have said, the digital current indicator is more or less useless. It's almost pointless, because no matter where you turn the current knobs, makes no difference unless you're actually welding. But if you press the torch, I really don't see the point in it at all. Anyway, can live without that. Well, here goes. Let's have a try with this thing. Now, I'm a gas welder, not a TIG welder. I've had a TIG for years, but I've barely used it. And so I've had a play with it and tried it at various settings on a piece of dirty old metal that I didn't even bother to clean. Must admit, I did much better on the stainless steel. And all the controls seem to do something. See, they seem to do what they're supposed to do. But I've got to say, the pulse settings don't do as much as I expected. So professional tiggers used to professional machines would probably be a little bit disappointed with that. Conclusion! It was only 380 quid, not 3,800 quid. And when you remember that the 80 quid was probably taken by the government in VAT, it was only 300 quid. So, I think it's great for the price it was. I just hope it lasts. And if this little video has helped you out a bit, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, and it helps me.